Woo! Brad, I think I solved that problem with the book.
That's good news because the last time I saw you did not look very well.
Yeah, I was kind of freaked out too. So I just figured the best way to solve the problem is just to get rid of the book. So I returned the book to the library where I found it. I got my refund back,
Did you
and
get a
I
late
think,
fee?
yeah, unfortunately, I got the late fee. I just wanted to read the book some more, but then I realized like we gotta get rid of it, and then I think we're good.
Good to go. I like it, man. That means we can keep rocking and rolling, man. You're still alive. I'm still here. We're good to go. Not again. Not again, dude. This is the third time you've been weird this week, dude. I can't do it. Nope, nope. I can't do it. You're too weird for me. You're too weird.
Why does Brad keep on getting up? I haven't done anything.
They're here.
What's going on, guys and gals? It's your boy Brad here. I got the Brett Man with Good Real Hunting. Welcome to our channel. It is Good Real Hunting 2020, and just remember, we hunt for the good reels, so you don't have to. So again, welcome. It's been an awesome Good Real Hunting thus far. So check out some of these other videos we've been posting, including the first review for the Evil Dead 1981 movie we just did. We just dropped that. It's an awesome review. We are moving on with our Evil Dead franchise. We are doing the review for Evil Dead 2 from 1987, directed by Sam Raimi again. Obviously, he gained popularity with the first one, and here we are with the second one a few years later. So, Brett, hit us with the cast.
All right, I'll definitely hit you with the cast. Our cast sees the return of Bruce Campbell, and the newer additions to the cast in this movie are Sarah Berry, Dan Hicks, Cassie DePava, and Denise Bixler.
Heck of a cast right there, my friend. Heck of a cast. So it's an awesome movie. Again, you get the popularity of Evil Dead 1981. The budget for that one was what, 325,000 we discussed earlier. They bumped the budget up to this one to $3.5 million based on the popularity of the first one. So we get better effects and we get just a better cast, overall better acting. So let's talk about it. I'm excited about it. I really dug this upon rewatch. I just watched this movie again. No nostalgia for this movie from Brett or myself. I watched it for the first time a few years ago. Thought it was a little weird. Rewatched it for the review. Absolutely freaking loved it. But we'll get into the reasons why and more into that. So what did you like about the movie, Brett?
What I like about this movie, which again, I have not seen any of these movies, so all these were first time watches, and my first thought, just pretty much immediately about this movie, which I'm hoping either you or just the audience can just leave a comment down below. The first thing I noticed was that this movie, the second one, went from a dark tone to more of a little bit of a lighter tone, which I'm not sure of just the reasons why they did that. I really noticed it like right off the bat and was worried about it because absolutely loved the tone of the first movie. But once I just relaxed and not even worried about that and just enjoyed the movie for what it was, I loved it again and I had a really great time with it.
I did as well. Of course, I mean, the movie's hilarious all the way throughout. I mean, you get Bruce Campbell doing some ridiculous stuff, and we'll get into some of that.
Hmm.
But you still get the classic camera work from
Yes.
Sam Raimi. You get the POV shots from the demons chasing Bruce Campbell all the way through the cabin, which is freaking amazing stuff, hilarious
Hmm.
stuff. They found a way to make it eerie and funny at the same time with those POV shots. You get to yeah. You still get those awesome directing abilities from Sam Raimi. And again, with the increased budget, you get increased effects, and this time, I mean, you still have some weird effects, and we'll get into that. But overall, the effects were much better in this movie. They aged much better for the most part. And again, I mean, those things alone are some of my biggest positives. And we'll get into some of the bigger ones. But what else you got there?
Yeah, along with the first movie too, they did the shot that I love the most, pretty much out of this entire franchise, is the blood on the light bulb. Just that effect, like it takes like rarely any work to pull off, and it just looks great every time that I at least see it. The camera work, as you touched upon already, great as always. And just again, they made it a creepy area. Like the cabin looked great, the forest looked great. Just the nighttime, you just feel creeped out. All of it great, which should come expected with a bigger budget. You should be able to make those things that weren't as good the first time a lot better, and I thought they accomplished that very good.
I agree. I think it was awesome stuff. I love so getting kind of back into the gags and the effects at the same time. You get the scene with the I mean, you got a lot of over the top blood scenes, which were freaking incredible. From the wall, the hole in the wall where he's chasing the rabbit or the not the rabbit, the rat or the mouse or whatever through the hole, or the
Hmm.
hand. It was the hand he
It
was
was the
chasing. I'm
hand,
sorry.
yeah.
He was through the mouse hole, and then the blood just comes squirting out all over him. He's just standing there. He's taking. He's like, ah, it was hilarious. And then you get obviously with the detached head biting his hand. He's freaking dragging it around and beating it on stuff. That was great, which leads to him smashing like the hand getting infected, and he's smashing freaking dishes on his face and punched himself in the face. Like that was all freaking amazing stuff.
Yeah, which I'm glad you brought that up because I actually learned about this particular scene. Did you know that Bruce Campbell actually did his own stunt work in that scene?
I did not.
He was actually hitting himself.
I'm totally not surprised by that either. He's such a freaking good actor when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh,
That
absolutely. And when I learned about what Bruce Campbell did for that scene, it went from like my sacred favorite scene of that movie to immediately my all-time favorite scene in Evil Dead 2. Just shows you how dedicated Bruce Campbell is to this particular project, and just shows you how much he's willing to go if he's truly invested. How great he can be.
That's awesome, man. Like it was hilarious. You get I mean there's so many classic moments. You get the freaking deer in the background freaking doing the little weird smiles and stuff and like
Oh, when Ash was sitting down and that chair broke and just the whole room just went
yeah,
ballistic
even the
laughing.
little clock got into it or the lamp in the background like the little Pixar lamp
Yeah,
started getting into
and
it.
what made that scene work too? It's just like along with the movie, as the movie plays out, it just shows you just how more deeper it goes to Ash going into insanity, like him just
Yeah.
losing his mind, and that was just like the ultimate like ticking point for me of just him just completely going bonkers and losing it.
Oh, it was awesome. And right after the scene where he's smashing the dishes on his face, when they're like the hand is on him, or he's still got the hand attached to his body, and he's laying on the ground, and the hand's trying to drag the body closer to the knife, and it's just like it's like one at a time. He's just dragging, and he kind of wakes up and he stabs it. Like that was amazing. That was incredible stuff. Absolutely love that. Um,
Yeah, and when he finally cut off the hand too, and he put the bucket over it in that book, oh my gosh, the title of that book! Oh, I just busted out laughing like, oh my gosh, like that's the moment of the movie where I just lighted up too and just accepted the movie for what it was.
Yeah, it was so awesome. And then the whole bucket and the book start freaking moving behind him. It's just a great shot where he's not looking at it. It's just in the background, scooting around on the floor back there. It was freaking yeah, it was so funny. I love that, and I like the sound effects. I thought were good. The music again was good. The sound effects in general were good. With all the stuff going on and with the demons and the POV shots again, the sound effects that kind of went into that.
Mhm.
It was great. You get, yeah, it was just ridiculous, but I loved every second of it.
Yeah, and I didn't really establish this a lot as one of my positives about the demons from the last video, so I want to touch it upon this video. The demons do a amazing job like playing mind games with Ash.
Oh yeah, with the mirror when he's talking to himself and stuff and all
Yeah,
that.
talking with the mirror, and from the first one, just the whole Linda talk, or like the Linda laughing and just quickly putting Linda back to normal. Like, Ash, why would you do that? Like, just the mind games that the demons play, especially in the second one, were just awesome.
Absolutely, it was good. And then I mean, you get an introduction of some new characters in this one with
Annie.
yeah, her like the daughter of the guy that was supposed to be staying there. I
Mm-hmm.
thought the new characters did fine. They did a good job of adding to Ash because he carried the movie for the longest time. And they kind of came in there towards the end, and I thought they did a pretty good job of kind of adding something new to the movie there about the halfway point. I dug that. Again, they threw back. The first one they had the throwback to Hills Have Eyes. This time they had a Freddy glove in the basement when he goes down there to face off against the mom or whatever. At some
Mm-hmm.
point, I remember
Or
seeing the
yeah, the
Freddy
mom.
glove hanging up. Yeah, another Wes Craven callback. He did it. The Hills Have Eyes in the first one, and this time it was the Freddy glove.
So we know
Um,
where Sam gets his inspiration from.
of course, yeah, it's awesome to see those throwbacks. Um, And I like there was one scene in particular with the effects, the tree vine. There was a point where one of the girls was getting dragged by the tree vine
Mm-hmm.
through the woods. I thought the effects there it was very good. And I thought the boss battle for all intents and purposes at the end was pretty cool when he gets the chainsaw and starts chopping limbs off and they're just flying through the air and the design on the creature was pretty cool. It was pretty good, but overall, I mean, my biggest positive is just freaking Bruce Campbell, man. He comes in here, so much dedication to the role, as Brett was saying earlier. I mean, he's just absolutely hilarious. He carries the movie on his own throughout the whole runtime, pretty much. I mean, again, you get to the new characters, which are pretty good, but he is the freaking star of this movie, and you know it. Absolutely carries it. It's awesome stuff, and he's so entertaining to watch throughout.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll keep on hearing us say it too that Ash is just like the major positive about this whole franchise. Just without him, I just feel like the franchise just wouldn't work. So that's how much you got to appreciate Bruce Campbell of what he invested into this film. And the last big thing I liked about Ash too is his transformation. I'm like, okay, he's like, I'm tired of this, just enough crying around. Let's just put this freaking chainsaw on my hand. Let's cut this gun and just do the whole twirly thing, put it in the back, and then he just says that good old classic line, groovy.
Groovy. It was awesome, man. Just freaking seeing that. He's a
Like
total
how can you
badass.
not love it? Like I feel like it was just that scene alone is what instantly made him a icon in the horror genre.
Oh yeah, and when he gets the chainsaw the first time, he's freaking chopping up his girlfriend.
Oh
There's
my
blood
god.
again, over top blood. It's freaking hilarious. It's amazing. Man, I mean, I could go on all day about positives for this movie and the effects and how hilarious it is, and Bruce and all that stuff. Do you have any negatives for it? I know there's not a lot you can really say. I
Yeah,
mean,
my like again, mine are a little bit nitpicking. I have a little bit more on that. Same with the first one. Besides Annie, the rest of the characters just didn't do much for me anyway. I'm having a hard time right now just remembering one. The one that just instantly comes to my head is Annie and what is it, Bobby Joe?
I think again, yeah, you're right. The characters are not that
Yeah,
memorable. I thought
see,
they did a good
right
job,
there.
but yeah, they're not very memorable.
Yeah, not very memorable. Which again, probably it's just for this movie, they're not meant to be memorable. I feel like of anybody you should remember, it's Annie because I believe she's a demonologist, correct?
Yeah,
So like that's what I interpreted from her.
she was at least yeah, she knew she brought in the experience to the movie, the exposition and stuff like that
Hmm.
about the book. So she was an important character. She brought in kind of the knowledge and stuff that needed to be passed on to us to kind of
Yeah, and
carry the plot
helped
on.
move the plot. Yeah,
Yeah.
easily helped the plot move along. But other than that, the rest of the characters just didn't mind it. It was just again the Ash show. What not Evil Dead movies, not the Ash show, and again, it's just a nitpick for me. For like my last real big negative, actually that's false. I got another negative too. I didn't feel like the demons looked just as good as they did in the first one. That's just my opinion. With a bigger budget, you think they just enhanced the look of that mega, but it didn't do really much for me this time around, which that's okay. Just how they portrayed the demons, keep them like with the same mindset and just their characteristics. That did not change, which I really appreciated. But the last little negative, and this is probably like what separates people from liking the Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, is that I like the Evil Dead with the darker tone versus like the comedy tone, because just like what the demons do within just in this entire franchise just doesn't really scream comedy to me. It just screams like, all right, we just got to go dark, greedy, and that's just pretty much it for me on the negatives part of it. Again, not a lot. With you, I love this movie.
Excellent. So my biggest negatives, that holds it back a little bit, very minuscule to me. I think most of the effects were much better than the first one. You get some that still kind of stand out and pull you out of the movie a little bit. Primarily the dance scene at the beginning where he kills his girlfriend and she climbs out of the grave and she's just dancing around. That one was a little weird and stuff. But overall, I thought they did a pretty good job with the effects and the Deadites. The
Oh
biggest
gosh, I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I forgot about to mention it with part of the negatives too. So it's that last scene with that like tunnel, like the kind of like black hole.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that didn't like. I felt like that could have looked better too, especially in the late '80s where technology was starting to develop. I felt like they could have done a better job with that.
Sure.
I just didn't feel like that part aged well. But I agree with you. So most of the other parts with the effects and all that were good.
I think so too. So my biggest negative with the movie is going to be like kind of the way it started out. I think that, and I know they had the reasons at the time with rights issues and whatnot, but I think it was just kind of weird, like to kind of see Bruce, like if you didn't know any better, you just see Bruce going back to the same cabin with another girlfriend and going falling for the same stuff he did in the first movie. And I know the goal was just kind of recap the first movie and get started with the Bruce show, the Ash show. But if you didn't know better, like for me, the first time I watched the movie, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" This is exactly how the first movie happened, and it's just kind of all happening again. So it kind of threw me out at the beginning. But again, I mean, I get the reasonings at the time. I just, it would have been better to have some more continuity there. I think maybe something's going on at the cabin, and Bruce decides to go back up for some more research, or something like that. Just a better way to bring him there more naturally and more organically. But I mean, again, I get it. It's not a huge deal. Once the ending's over, you kind of forget about it, and it's just the Ash show. But again, that's kind of, I mean, that's my biggest negative. So overall, I mean, I love the movie, and I think it's going to be a Halloween staple for me going forward in the month of October for Good Real Haunting all years going forward. I think I absolutely freaking loved it this time and dug the hell out of it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude, and great thoughts about the negative. I'll even throw one more quick in there too. Thank goodness they didn't use the knights at towards the end of the movie for this one onto Army of Darkness,
Oh yeah,
because those knights looked absolutely horrible. But again,
that's
I
true.
just feel like they weren't just going to mention like kind of like use those knights. They just quickly threw it in there.
Yeah, I think so
But
too. It was just
but
kind
I
of what's your score, Brett?
My score for this movie, I'm actually going to give Evil Dead 2. I'm going into this review. I was actually going to give it a 4, but it's just how we talked and just helping me, reminding me of things. I'm actually going to quickly change my score. I'm giving this movie a 4.5 out of 5.
That's what I'm giving it, a 4.5 out of 5. That means, ladies and gentlemen, that we have given this a good roll hunting score of 4.5 out of 5. Easy math there for both of us. And I think it's safe to say that we have located a good reel with this one. It is good times, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And just out of curiosity, what did you all think about Evil Dead 2? Are you with me on the sci-fi? You like your Evil Dead darker versus the comedy tone? We would both love to hear it, so be sure to leave a comment in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like this video. Also, hit that subscribe button, and of course, ring that bell for further content.
Absolutely. If you subscribe with us today, you can hunt good reels hunt for good reels with us going forward and join us on the journey. And I think we're going to have a good time together.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, Letterboxd, where you get to see the score ratings that we always do with our reviews.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you guys on board. And again, do not go to the cabins in the woods going forward, because that is not the place you want to be, especially if there's weird shit going on in the basement and books made out of skin and things like that.
And blood riding, and please stay away from time loops too.
And if your girlfriend turns into a deadite and you cut her head off and she keeps dancing, she's not dead yet. Or your boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, you ain't right, dude. So with that, we're gonna end this video, and that be sure to stay tuned for our third review of the Evil Dead series of Army of Darkness. We're both super excited to get into that one, because that's when things will even get more groovy. We'll see you guys later.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Hasta la vista, baby.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening.